Toy fans of the world, guess what I got? I have DC Comics Batgirl. It's the Barbara Gordon version and it's the designer series. Major shout out to my buddy Albert. Thank you for getting me this figure. The design for her looks great. In fact, all of the figures from this entire series looks really cool. On the back of the packaging, it says the sculptor is Jonathan Matthews. Although there have been several other women to hold the mantle of Batwoman, Barbara Gordon is more likely the most famous out of all of them. And although she's not my particular favorite to hold this title, she still does get a lot of respect. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this up so we can look at it. And here she is! She doesn't come with much in the way of accessories, with the exception of these tiny little batarangs. I don't know if you can see too well or not, but she can hold one of them at least. The other two, chances are, if you don't put them away somewhere, you're going to lose them. Okay, now look at these boots. Why the hell do so many different artists draw female heroes with heels? She's supposed to be able to run across rooftops. She can't do that in these type of boots. Whatever, let's just ignore that. Look at her eyes. Look at the face here. You can see that they did a really good job of making sure she has blue eyes. And they did a great job of sculpting her hair, although generally a lot of times you see her hair being a bit more reddish. I'm really impressed with the armor being sculpted on her body. It looks really cool. Although her utility belt doesn't look too much like a utility belt, it just looks like a nice design added to the costume. The cape sculpting is pretty cool looking. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but whenever a Bat character is standing upright, their cape is short. But whenever they're flying through the air, the cape is always drawn to be much longer. It just adds more visual effects. They did a really cool sculpt on the back too. You can't even see it with the cape covering it up, but still, I like it. And for a female figure, she's got a nice butt too. Even though she's got a lot of articulation, she probably wasn't meant for too many different poses. It's kind of difficult to move some of the joints. Let's go and go through all that. First, she can move her head, upper shoulder movement, elbow movement, wrist movement, upper leg movement, mid-thigh movement, knee movement, and finally calf movement. She is a very beautiful figure. I was reading online that some paint had been chipped off on some other people's figures, and if you moved it around too much, even more would come off. I haven't found that problem with this one. In fact, I can't find any major flaws with her at all. The only thing that I kind of wish they did was include a stand. With these kind of shoes, it's a bit difficult to keep her standing upright, but not impossible. You just gotta kind of work with it a little bit more. I know no one has forgotten this, but for a long period of time, Barbara was paralyzed in a wheelchair, and she served as a superhero known as Oracle, which I loved her in that role, and I think that she was very much more needed in this capacity for all of the superheroes in DC Comics. But for whatever reason, DC decided to heal her of this and make her back into Batgirl. I oppose that myself, but again, this is my own personal opinion. Just for comparison purposes, I wanted to show Stephanie and Cassandra Batgirl. I always liked Stephanie a lot, but that's for my own personal reasons I won't go into. I always thought that if Barbara Gordon were to take up the mantle of Batgirl again, she should be Batwoman, and the current Batwoman should be a different character altogether. But again, like I said, it's my own personal preference. Finally, for comparison purposes, here are some other of the Batfamily figures that I have. Again, she is a great figure. I think she came out awesome. I love Barbara Gordon. I really love her as a superhero. I just prefer her as Oracle instead. That's my own personal preference, though. Some other people love her as being Batgirl, so you know what? More power to them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching me in this video. Be sure to check out my Patreon site when you get a chance. Check out my website, my social media sites, and everything else out there. Peace, love to my stand. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Notice the belts here for Cassandra as opposed to Barbara. This actually looks like a real utility belt as opposed to this where it's just a regular belt.